Praise be to Jesus. A Catholic high school is pushing the LGBT agenda but hides it from prospective families. John Carroll Catholic High School in Bel Air, Maryland promises to provide a Catholic foundation of values. But last week they tweeted a notice for their first meeting of the Love One Another Club. The club is also listed on their website as an extracurricular activity. An angry parent contacted church militant over the Twitter post explaining there are no other Catholic high schools nearby. The school serves 3 counties, Hartford, Baltimore, and Cecil, and the next nearest Catholic high school is over 30 miles away or is across state lines. Parents of students often sacrifice greatly to send their children for a Catholic education. Tuition for John Carroll is over $17,200 per year, and multi-child discounts only amount to a $500 discount for each additional child. Recent reports of pro-gay books, plays, and even coursework from a number of Catholic schools would indicate this is a systematic problem within Catholic schools. When parents or media contact their bishop, the response from diocesan spokesmen is often not to comment on matters pertaining to private schools. Well, some of you might be saying, well, we know this, yeah, probably 95% of you know that there are modernism and acceptance of gay sin, we'll call it, is something that not only you're familiar with, but you know that I posted things about Catholic universities, and of course we know about seminaries. Well, I just like to say that, if you're thinking like I get repetitive on the channel, occasionally or often, it's really because let's just take yesterday. Now, yesterday there were 15 new subscribers to the channel. And who knows how many people there are who maybe just stumble across the channel and look through the videos, look at what they want to look at, or people who just aren't subscribed, but maybe they have the channel bookmarked and they come here, whenever, whether it be once a week or once a month, and look through things. There are people, and there's probably not many of them on a day-to-day basis, but there are people who aren't aware of modernism and homosexuality and the acceptance of the gay lifestyle. They're not really aware that it's really infiltrated Catholic education, in this particular case, with this particular post. So, I feel very deeply that I'm called towards educating people, and what that means is, for the way I understand it, what God is asking of me is to continually put the big picture out there, and posts that have to do with just showing the continuing push of modernism, with all its, all the different elements of modernism, whether it be with, one thing or another thing, or, it's really the whole big picture where people who haven't really put the pieces of the puzzle together, I need to continually offer them the pieces of the puzzle, and then it's up to them to fit them together and see the whole general push of modernism into every aspect of Catholicism. And then it's up to them whether, what they accept in their hearts as being okay or not okay. And, the whole idea here is to give people, give you all continuing information, so that, because you never know. I mean, I don't see how any of this is going to turn around, but I mean, I'm not someone who sees the future, or God doesn't talk to me and tell me there's going to be a big pushback and things are going to be headed back to traditional Catholicism, But for those of you who are interested in keeping up, at least you have a continuing sense of what's going on and how bad it's getting. So I just ask you, if you say to yourself occasionally, well, I know this. Yeah, you know it, but the whole idea is to continue, making it obvious to new people and people who haven't put the pieces of the puzzle together yet. The idea is to help them. So in Christian Charity, I ask you to, sort of put up with the repetition that I sometimes get into. I mean, I really feel like I'm called to do that. The repetitive part of, trying to keep things in perspective and fit that piece of the puzzle, or to offer that piece of the puzzle into the bigger picture. So it's prayer time for, and a nice man by the name of Frank just gave me a comment, and he just loves the prayers. So, I mean, I know there are others of you that pray also, so I'm really, and I know some of you might say, well, I have my prayer time, and, this is my time for, listening. I'm sure a lot of you listen to other channels and whatever. So, if this is your time to do that, and you don't feel like you're being called to pray at the end of all, or even, any of the videos, I mean, that's fine. Don't feel bad about that or whatever. I mean, other people, will pray. So, and I've always been like this. I'll insert prayers into, wherever I can when I'm online. I figure, my efforts were something, and if even one person prays, I mean, that's a good thing. So I don't mean to irritate anyone with the prayer video. Some people might see that as like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing that for? I mean, this is a news channel. Yeah, it is. And the same thing with the prophecy stuff. I feel like, although I'm keeping the prayers and the prophecy stuff out of the main feed for you, and just putting them into the playlists, and we'll just let God draw attention to the playlist for anyone who comes to the channel. But I just need to put them there, okay? But I do have your interest in mind. I know probably most of you aren't interested in the prayers, but so I'll try to stop saying it's prayer time or whatever at the end of the video. I think you could just assume that, unless I forget occasionally, which I don't think I will at this point, but because I've done it enough times, it's sort of like just part of the video. So you could just let it go, and I don't mean to to make you feel guilty that you don't want to pray or something. As long as you have your specific prayer time. I'm always thinking like, well, what's another 2 minutes, And, there are thousands of people on the channel, so if I could convince you all to spend 2 minutes a day, there's, thousands of minutes worth of prayer, and, as a group we can really offer something, to the heart of God for our church and our priests, Okay, well, I've talked enough, so I don't know. I have to look around some more to see what else is going on. So anyway, we'll talk to you later in the day. Bye.